Let's cut to the chase. In the first segment of this video, I'll be showing you double jump spots that can get you free kills with your ult, or stylish kills for your montage. In the second part, I'll be breaking down nade lineups and practical nade spots. Lastly, I'll be showing you some of the bomb buddy lines that I think are good. I know you're a busy person, so let's just start. Most sages will wall as soon as they hear anything mid, so what I like to do is double jump over it and ult them in their stupid face. If the enemy team is trying to plan a site, and you have this window smoked off for you, you can usually double jump out of it and catch the enemy off guard. In one of my older videos, I showed off this Omen Blind and double jump combo that will guarantee a kill on a ramp player unless they're jet and dash out. A good way to get the timing down exact is to line up against this back wall and start running at 0 seconds. Raze ult works best on players who don't have their hands on their keyboards yet, so at the start of round, double jumping into a spawn isn't such a bad idea. This jump spot also pairs well with an Omen Blind.
Oh my god.
This jump is slightly more difficult, but also safer. If Cypher is playing passive on B site, you can use this double jump to break trapwires while catching him off guard while he's in his camera. These jumps are good against players that aggressively play mid, but will usually get you traded, so I'd only recommend doing this on a save round or when you don't have a gun. For this jump, you're going to line yourself up on this line in the middle. You're going to throw your blast pack on top of the papers below you, and you're going to jump off the metal and strafe out far right so the blast pack barely hits you. The only time you'd ever use this jump is if you have ult and you're trying to get a kill on a player behind pillar, or if you saw Flight's knife a planter and you want to do that too. For this jump, you're going to be using the technique of throwing the plaque onto low ground. You're going to try to get a lot of distance and height off of it and triple jump into heaven. It takes a lot of practice.
Okay, now set the grenade inside of there, but do not let go of that lever yet. Just set it in there carefully.
This first nade is good for denying a peek behind pillar, and for taking space with your Sage 12 right side. I don't use an exact lineup for this, but I do running throw while aiming somewhat at the ground. I use this nade to clear out trapwires while also clearing out players playing close left. I don't use this nade that often, but if you know that a player has played in that left corner before and you know that there's trapwires scattered around that area, it's definitely worth it. I like this nade a lot because it gets behind the default players, so they're forced to take a fight with your team as you push in, or it might just get a free kill. Then for the last nade on B site, usually you'll have a sage wall up or a smoke in front of you, so I like to aim at the rafters up top there, but there's a lot of different ways you can nade heaven. Once you've taken heaven with your double jump and omen flash combo, usually you'll hear a vents player scrambling to get back up and take control of heaven. So what I'll usually throw is this nade right here, which not only covers the top part of vents, but also falls down into it. You line up your crosshair so that's the bottom of the poster on the wall to your left, and then you're going to scooch over to the left until you can no longer see the wood on the inside of the building. Then just run, jump, and throw. This nade is amazing at denying plants and getting free kills on people who think they can stick it. For this lineup, I make sure that the yellow rope is peeking out from the left wall. Then I run until I reach the red cable, and as my crosshair meets the crossbar on the vents, I jumping throw. Throwing a nade behind pillar will always be strong. It's a very common post plant position and will get you free kills. When playing defense on A, I really like these nades that land in this choke. It's very common to get free kills here because the enemy will usually bunch up deciding whether they want to go ramp or aim in. One of my favorite parts about playing split is when an enemy pushes into this cubby on the left. You get to nade them so bad. It's so funny. A good way to punish players who are scared to peek you is to throw this nade. It'll punish people who are playing on top of the stairs or near spawn, but against aggressive players they might push past it and kill you, so beware. This lineup is very simple. Just run into the wall on your left while aiming at the wooden beam above the shrubs. Sage and Raze go together like my grandmother and not being alive. So when Sage slows mid, it's always a good idea to nade with it. With this nade, you line up by aiming at the bottom of the shadow and tucking yourself into the corner and vents. Then just do a running throw. And for this nade, just aim at the line underneath this gray box and do a running throw. This should kill any player tucked in this right cubby. To nade a player hiding behind mid box, I like to aim high into the left of the doorway and just do a running throw. This way they don't see the nade coming. To nade deep fence, I look halfway up the staircase and slightly to the left. I then do a running jumping throw. This nade is good because you can even get damage on somebody if they're down inside the vents. This nade will murk any idiot who's standing behind the box in B heaven. For this lineup, you're going to leave some of the darker gray on the wall opposite of you visible, and you're going to line up your crosshair with the lower part of the top row of mailboxes on your right. Then just do a running jumping throw.
You stupid.
No, not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
When taking mid, I'll usually throw a bomb buddy up into vents because it'll force the vent player to either shoot the bomb buddy and give away their location, or to drop down and not fight at all. If you know the enemy likes to play hell, this is a good bomb buddy for getting them out of there, or revealing their location if they're still playing in B heaven. When on split, you never really play B on defense because that's where your cipher is, so you'll usually be retaking it. When you're retaking it, I like to throw a bomb buddy from CT down into pillar because once again, a lot of people like to play pillar. When you're playing mid-split defense, you're usually going to be playing with the Sage. What I like to do is send a bomb buddy down mid and then try to figure out where the enemy is. Then the Sage will slow them and I'll nade them, and then I'll probably get free kills. When doing the ramp rush strat with the Omen blind and the nade into vents, I usually like to send my boom buddy into CT to cover all my options. An alternate boom buddy for if the enemy likes to play outside of heaven or underneath heaven is this one. You line it up by putting the trail directly in between the wood on the left and the wood on the right. Finally, this is probably the one I use the most. It lets you get a free orb and gets information for you while you just build up ultimates, which is, let's be honest, the best part of playing Raze. Holy crap, I don't know how YouTubers make their videos 10 minutes long. This was exhausting having to edit, and it's not even 10 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I recently hit 700 subscribers, and I really want to thank you guys a lot for that. I plan to do a face reveal at 1K. Wink wink, be there. And I might also plan to play with viewers on stream. A lot of you guys have been asking to play with me, and it really warms my heart that you would want to play with some random dude on the internet. Yeah, I've been Swens. Thanks for watching.